Hello guys and welcome back to Tycoon. That was probably a bit loud, but yeah, today we're just gonna have a chill episode. I might just talk about some random things that come to my mind. I don't even know what yet will come to my mind. But yeah, basically I've been just having a pretty chill day. I haven't actually recorded one of these episodes in quite a while, and the main culprit or the main reason for that being is I simply have been playing a lot of other games. I've been keeping up with the uploads because, unlike before, I've actually prepared for me getting bored of this game occasionally because um, I tend to do that and recorded a whole bunch of extra episodes all at once. And that, in short, is basically why excuse my burps, is why I really like Air Tycoon Offline. It's just because I can play whenever I want. I can pop on, then pop off, and nothing is really missed. The game has left off exactly where it is. Now, I'm guessing that Air Tycoon Online is in fact far, far more interesting to watch. Online being, played against other players and such like that. I'm guessing it's far more interesting as a viewer. Um, to kind of see how I compete and how I do in that game. Unfortunately, of course, that's not going to be happening until I, make another Air Tycoon 5 world. So what I've been thinking is, what can I do to kind of remedy this? Because I want to, in the future, still make some Air Tycoon online gameplay. But I'm not really sure how to do that, of course, because I'm not really gonna be able to invest myself fully in a game of Air Tycoon Online as it stands. It's just too time consuming. It would be possible to do if it were more like Air Tycoon Offline, where um, you can just do everything you need to do in one place sitting and then leave and then come back again at another time. But one way I can do this actually is through the VIP thing in Air Tycoon Online. Basically, if you don't know, there's something called VIP setting in Air Tycoon Online. Not VIP setting, but like VIP something. What's it called? VIP. It might just be called VIP. And basically, when you pay 50 USD in one game world, you get instant plane request, I believe. Not slot request, but instant plane request. And that already would make playing this game much, much easier. With instant plane request, you would basically be able to manage a lot larger fleet because the only thing limiting your rate of opening routes is slot requests. But that's not too big of a deal when using long range routes, but it only really restricts that. And also, for your fleet size, what typically happens when you try and run a really, really large company in this game in Air Tycoon Online is you reach a point where you can't request planes fast enough to keep up with replacing old ones and adding new ones. In fact, you usually fall behind on just replacing old ones because you're probably more active when you play near the beginning of the game. So yeah, I mean, with that in mind, like, I really am in need of more plane requests, and that can be solved for 50 USD, but it only lasts one game world, of course. So basically, what I'm thinking with that is, if I ever make 50 USD from YouTube money, which might take half a year or so at the rate I'm going now, obviously I'm not breaking any records for YouTube revenue. I'm not really considering it as a serious method of revenue, but if you noticed recently, all my videos have just been monetized. Because I'll probably just reinvest that money back into this channel. So if I ever make 50 USD from that, that's probably going to go into a single round of Air Tycoon, probably a star channel to make it a little bit more interesting. So yeah, also I'm looking for London routes, which are running on DC 1030s. I'm not sure if there's any left. But yeah, basically I want to replace any London routes on a DC 1030 with a larger aircraft, but it doesn't seem like there's any. So let's just see if there's any other cities I want to connect to London, like even at all. Maybe I could do Xi'an eventually. Squaling and Xi'an are a bit small, so probably not right now. We have Abu Dhabi. Probably do it. We can probably do Abu Dhabi. Just need a destination on this side. Unfortunately, we don't quite have the range for that or that. I want to do Kingston and like those cities over there, but of course I can't do that. I can do this though, and I think that's probably big enough for a decent 747 route. Also, as you can see, I'm already running out of good routes to New York. Yeah, the main reason for that really being just the fact that New York is not in Europe. It makes it a slightly harder location to make nice stopovers to. I think I'm going to go ahead and use Nairobi as well to London. And what else do I have on this side? I have cities like this. I think I'll leave those guys. I think Kano is pretty big actually. So we can do Kano to London. And I think I can even go this way if there's any cities left. Doesn't seem like there's any. I think this way is probably better. Spokane, nope. Anchorage? Yeah, I could do Anchorage. Yeah, we're really stretching the limit of how creatively we can open these routes now. Yeah, also on another note, I'm actually starting to accrue YouTube revenue, which is pretty cool. Like, basically, I saw that the balance owed in my what's that thing called? In my AdSense is actually $15. So I've made $15 from YouTube now. And of course that's not very much, but that's a pretty fun pretty fun first step, I guess. Yeah, I'm not really considering this as a serious thing at all, but it's just pretty fun to know that enough people watch to apparently have some worth at all. Anyways, on a side note, I'm struggling to find any routes which work. Also, what else do I want? What did I want to say? I had like a whole bunch of stuff I want to say, but it's gone off the rails. We're just talking about Air Tycoon now. That's pretty cool. Oh yeah, I've been playing another game. It's another airline simulator. I think I've already uploaded some videos of it on my channel. It's called Airway Sim, and I'm not sure if the first time when I uploaded it, I got very much traction compared to Air Tycoon Online, but I really enjoyed that game. Probably a bit more than the Air Tycoon series, to be honest. Yeah, mostly because that game is more balanced around realism than balanced around business simulation. And maybe it's not perfectly realistic at all, but I kind of wish that Air Tycoon adopted some of the features from that game and then vice versa. So in Air Tycoon Online, the main problem is route accuracy. The reason why I don't find this game particularly too fun is because here's a decent route, right? But you can run a Boeing 777 probably directly from New York to, just for sake of example, Gdansk, and it would probably be full, which is quite insane because you could probably only fill 3 777s, maybe 4 from London to New York, where in Airway Sim, this route, London to Gdansk, probably has almost no demand, where London to New York, much more realistically, probably has thousands upon thousands. I think the actual number is, if you add up all the airports in New York, probably like 25 plus thousand by 2015. So much more insanely high levels. And unfortunately, that's just not realistically replicatable in Air Tycoon Online. Is the route balance, I guess, is not quite right. But where Airway Sim lacks is it's 100 times more realistic in terms of things such as the the airplanes, the airport data, all those things are incredibly accurate um, in Airway Sim, but it doesn't have very accurate what I would call competition. Yeah, what I mean by that is when two or more people are flying the same route, the way the game chooses to divide the passengers isn't really quite what you would hope for. It's not as accurate as I wouldn't even say it's as accurate as Air Tycoon Online, but mostly there's not very much you can do as a company to sway the demand one way or another. You're basically either stuck. Um, basically the way you compete, the only way you compete is by adding competition and then making your costs lower, because there's no way to directly sway passenger opinion. Basically, now if you have no idea what I'm talking about, that's fine. Basically, what I'm trying to say is there's no logical way to compete. Whereas in Air Tycoon Online, you can lower prices or you can increase your services as the two main ways to compete with, a bias towards better services being more important. So, yeah, I wish there was some kind of in-flight service investment um, kind of functionality in Air Tycoon or Airway Sim, but that's not the case. Whereas in this game, I wish there was more realism, to be closer to real life. Anyways, aside from that, looking back at our game here, I think this is a pretty good turn because I think this is the Chicago hub turn. And no, it's a Los Angeles hub. So we can go ahead and open up a hub in Los Angeles, actually. So let's go ahead and open that. Do we have any planes for it? We don't have any long-range planes, but we definitely have tons of short-range planes. So let's go ahead and knock ourselves out. The other option is actually don't do any of the short-range routes and do them later with stopovers with really short second legs, um, like even LA to Tucson when we start using longer range planes. I'm not sure if that's the best idea, but whoa, I just realized that I'm probably getting a lot of airports in the red. Hold up. Oh dear. Well, I gotta fix that, and that's kind of boring to fix on camera, so I'll fix that and I'll be right back. You know what? I decided to rejoin you guys while I fix this because I'm doing something kind of weird you might see, and I'm just requesting maximum slots. And the reason for that is because I never want to return to this tab. Hopefully, like I'm not requesting maximum slots. I'm maxing request tongue twisters. I'm requesting maximum counters and offices because I never want to return to this tab. This is one of the I would guess you could say most annoying parts of this game. I'm also considering in the future coming back and buying maintenance and fuel in literally every single one of these airports once I'm flying to them from a lot of different cities in the future. Right now it's just 4. Like I'm probably going to be flying to these cities from all my main hubs. So, not a big deal. Well, this is Los Angeles, so I'll be revisiting this a lot no matter what I want. So, let's go ahead and just max out this and buy this as well. Yeah, I think. Yeah, look at these pages and pages of problems. I basically never want to revisit these. Like in the future, I'll be flying to them from more airports with bigger airplanes. So, yeah, hopefully I'll never have to come back to these pages. Is basically what I'm hoping. I really don't know how big this airline's gonna get to. Hopefully it doesn't end up with more than 10,000 aircraft because it might take forever to finish at that rate. But at the rate we're adding aircraft now, it really could be. We really could end up with every single route possible. That would be a fun goal, actually, to make an airline in this game with every single route possible. And that really might be what this series devolves into, basically. Because it might be possible. 1976, not quite exponential growth we have going at the time right now, but I think it really might be possible to make every single route possible in the whole world. Um, there's only so many hub cities, so somebody's gonna have to help me do the math and figure out how many they are. But that would be a legitimate challenge, and but you probably need to start in 1960 to have that be possible. So we'll see how this goes. We'll see how this goes, if that's way too ambitious or not. But anyways, I'm gonna finish that up and I'll be right back. Yeah, he goes, so I think I'm mostly finished up with that. Yeah, I don't think there's any more red routes in there. So not bad. So that means we can get on started with going ahead and opening up our close range routes to LA. So I don't really want to go past 2000K because like the of course is not only the range close to the range of the plane. I think it's actually 3000, which is quite far. But basically, I want to save these routes to use for stopover points in the future when making routes to LA, because I know LA is also in one of those kind of funky ass, kind of unusual positions in the planet where you can't find too many stopovers, especially ones to the south. They are highly, highly valuable when stopping over from Asian destinations. The ones which go up from it, not so much. Ones to the north, routes to the north are quite hard to use in like 99% of stopovers to LA, so I don't feel too bad just using them for some stupid Tupolev routes, which don't make very much money. In the future, there'll be 737s, or maybe if I replace them late enough, A320s. I never use A320s in this game, so it'd be pretty fun to use them for once. Yeah, anyways, I could even use something stupid like DC-9s or MD 717s, whatever Boeing 717s are. I think are the MD-90s, I want to say. Yeah, but I think this is about all of the Tupolev routes I want to open to LA. To be honest, I really want to save the rest for stopovers. Like New York isn't so bad, but I also want to save a lot of the worst, like a lot of the cities around New York for stopovers, but like New York doesn't have the problem nearly as bad as LA, so I think I'm just gonna just leave the rest of these for European hubs, to be honest, because European hubs really don't struggle with stopover locations, but North American hubs really do, and you don't know until it's about to happen which areas of the world you need more cities in. So we're literally just gonna drop those plans, and I think we're gonna go with DC-1030s. Yeah, before 777s, DC-1030s sound like the smartest thing to do stopovers with to New York, and then we'll use the leftover cash basically to lease 747s whenever we have the chance. Let's go ahead and buy some fuel as well, and use the remaining leases on 747s. Let's go ahead and do that. I think we're also overdue for resetting the price. So we're going to say based on current fare, we're just going to set the price to 1.3. Go ahead and click confirm. And skip to the next month. And boom, look at that profit. Just tank for one turn. Yeah, that's what happens when you reset the price. I think I should stop doing that so often. I really don't need to do it so often. The part of my company which is flying new routes is really a small portion of it, so I shouldn't worry about it. And then I'll say if the occupancy is less than this, we'll set the price to something less. Let's go with 117%. Okay, and then let's go ahead and buy some more planes. Where are we? DC-10, DC-1030. Gonna want to buy 2 of them so we can lease as many of these as possible. I don't know what I'm gonna end up doing next in this world, to be honest. I think I could have done one more. Hold up. Yeah, I really don't know what I'm gonna do next in this world. I think like my profit is still really low. It's basically what I'm thinking right now. And the problem with that is I'm currently unable to. I'm basically unable to really buy enough large aircraft. I really need to get it up quickly, but it just doesn't seem to be going up quickly at all, which is the problem. Obviously that's the problem with freaking every single company in the world. Wow, my profit's just not going up. I don't know why, but like I need it to go up quickly because airplanes are so damn expensive, and without using the stupid cheesy ass Tupolev 747 strategy, it doesn't really work very well. But the problem with the cheesy Tupolev 747 strategy is there's literally nowhere in the world I want to fly these Tupolevs to, because they literally feel like a waste of routes. Yeah, they literally like I literally feel like it isn't even worth using the route when that route could be a half of a stopover, especially in LA. Not so much on the East Coast in the US, and definitely not in Europe, because there's tons of cities on both sides in Europe. So yeah. Um, with that in mind, I really don't know what I should do. Should I continue to do this stupid Tupolev Boeing strategy? Should I focus on getting more hubs in Europe so I can find useful routes for the Tupolevs? See, routes this far could be useful, very useful for stopovers in the future. So I really shouldn't be using them, because in later when I see they're all used, like I just won't be able to use them for stopovers even if I want to. Um, without going through the extreme trouble of deleting every single route I need when making stopovers. So yeah, I don't know if I'm making a mistake by actually opening all these routes. Hopefully not. We'll see what happens. Yeah, there's just so many Tupolevs. They don't end. I have 13 more. And it feels like I've exhausted about all the cities I want to exhaust. Yeah, I'm not going any farther than about 2,000K from these North American cities, which really do run out of stopover destinations in the future. So, that's that. That's all the Tupolev 134s I want to use. Yeah, in the future, I think what I might do is focus on hubs in Europe so I can continue doing the Tupolev lease strategy. What's my next hub coming up? Chicago. So that's not another great, not a like. That's another hub which is not a great stopover place. So wait, where are my damn European hubs? Paris. I'm not even working on them. I really should be working on some European hubs in here. So believe I already have these routes. Yeah, I just need to find them and start investing in them now. So where are we? Washington. We need to go to F. Frankfurt K. GF Frankfurt. Okay, perfect. Let's max this out. What else? Amsterdam is the next biggest, so that's under A. Yeah, let's go ahead and max out Amsterdam. Do I need it? No, I need it to be 50. Okay. So, yeah, we'll start working on those two, and we'll go ahead and pass the month now. Okay, our profit is partially recovered. This is, of course, a downtick. Let's take a look at our profit here. Yeah, it looks like London is starting to get a lot of cities which don't quite stay full on a 747. Excuse me there. Got some coughing going on. London to Tampa, for example, drops occupancy. So it looks like we need to kind of abandon the Tupolev 7-4 strategy. Additionally, because we just can't fill 747s anymore. I have another couple which arrived, but there's also quite a few routes to New York I should be making. So all these Mexican cities will make great routes, to be honest. You just need to find appropriate destinations. Glasgow doesn't quite work. Luxembourg is too close. This is pretty tough, to be honest. Algiers is kind of small. I could do something like that. That works. But let's look for some better ones first, if they exist. That's out of range. Wow, this is kind of tough. Vienna. Vienna is probably one of the best cities available. Let's go ahead and put some 747s on route. I should do a certain time of the year every year where I reset the prices of all my routes. That way I don't do it too often, because I feel like that's what I'm doing right now. So yeah, it's a good idea for moderation of that particular aspect of this game. And as I search for another route, as you can see, this is a big problem you encounter when making stopovers to North American cities, is cities are simply just too close to make stopovers. I don't know why you can't make short stopovers. Oh, there's plenty of those in real life. But anyways, let's go ahead and make that. And the rest seems to be DC 1030. So those ones we want to use on slightly more inferior routes. So let's see how many of these it lets us lease. 3 of them. All right. Also got to unsatisfied. That's not good. Fuel. Got to load up on fuel. So I finish my fuel tank instantly, it seems like. So if I buy more fuel tanks in random cities, would that help my cause? Because I own 3 fuel tanks, I believe, in all of my hubs. So... Oh, I don't in New York. Silly me. So just out of curiosity, if I fill up my fuel tanks like this, do all of them drain? Because the LA one shouldn't drain, to be honest. So that means it's somehow siphoning fuel all the way to freaking London. But yeah, anyways, ignoring that fact, let's go ahead and just continue on making stopover routes, I guess. Let's try and do New York. So I want to look for something about 6,900 kilometers away. Yeah, the reason for that is the biggest sized or shortest distant route stopover, which I basically want to be making all of my stopovers the minimum length they are allowed to be. That way as to not waste any destinations far away. I don't think I was thinking about that when I first opened up this New York hub, but now I realize that should be a pretty important consideration. So yeah, for example, I just want everything to be edged just over 10 kilometers basically. So like Managua is 3,400. I need to look for something 6,500 kilometers away. I think that would be somewhere here. Prague? Nope, it needs to be slightly farther than Prague. Gdansk? That looks perfect. That could be a 747 though. So, no, I'll just do Paris because everything to Paris I want to be a DC 1030. So, we shouldn't have problems with Paris. Actually, we do have problems with Paris because there's no slots. So, let's do LA. LA is interesting, I think, because yes, this problem. Look at that. It's just a bit too far, it looks like. There's only a few routes I can think of that I can make stopovers to with the current range of planes I have access to. Unfortunately. Let's take a look at stopovers that go the quote-unquote correct way around the world. Also, a lot of these could be 747, so let me pick a smaller city. Yeah, this is how they would work. You know what? That's actually okay. I'll just make this for now because I think the rest should be 7-4s. All right, so there's tons of 7-4 routes to Los Angeles as well. Um, yeah, it looks like finally the number of hubs I have is really exceeding the number of my planes and my capability of taking the routes with the given planes, which I guess is definitely not a bad thing. So, yeah, it looks like I'll just be doing stopovers to New York then. Because I'm definitely not having all these 747 routes are still available syndrome. So, yeah. Uh, how far do we need? 6,500. What's around that length? It'll be something around here. Let's see if we can find anything appropriately sized. Yeah, I guess that works. Yeah, and the main problem here is also not the North American. Oh, it's not the North American side. It is in fact It is the North American side. My bad. What am I talking about? Okay, my brain is getting scrambled. I think I've been talking for too long. So I'm gonna call it here for this episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.